the Cold War, there have been quite a few conflicts in Africa which have been proxy conflicts of superpower. If you look at the conflict map during the period of the Cold War, you would say that whether it was Ethiopia or whether it was Angola or Mozambique, all had a very strong superpower dimension to the conflict. And that the basic character of that conflict was determined by the rivalry between the two superpowers in the African continent. After the Cold War, in the statistics that we see, some of those conflicts did not disappear. They have remained, and it has taken some time for those conflicts to be either resolved or transformed. And what we are seeing also, as you said, some new conflicts have emerged. Now, how does one define a conflict as war? Now, David Singer uses the variable 1,000 battle-related deaths. He defines a war as a conflict which has 1,000 battle-related deaths a year. And this is a definition which is highly challenging, because most often, how do you know it is 1,000? I remember asking that to Mr. Singer, Professor Singer, and what happens if it is 999? He was very upset, because unless you have a kind of some quantitative landmark, it's very, very difficult to develop some kind of conception of this area. And according to that definition, if you agree with that definition, there have been most of the studies which have been done, and one of the studies which I am now doing in my book is to challenge the assumption that in fact conflicts may be increasing. Because what we are beginning now to see, in fact, is that a lot of the conflicts are ending. In the last 5 years, whether it is Mozambique, Angola, Ethiopia, Ireland, the Middle East, about 8 out of those 32 are going out of the conflict zone. But one must not think that because of that, conflicts have disappeared from Africa. So what you find is potential conflicts, and conflicts, if you want to use that word, less than 1,000, 500. What are the indicators that we have and we should develop to predict conflicts which can escalate to 1,000 and over? So I think that this is hopefully a lucrative discussion of trying to refine the tools in trying to develop the kinds of indicators that we need in making the kind of predictions for intervention. And unfortunately, that is yet to be done. It has not been done systematically. And if we are talking about early warning, we need to talk about the thresholds of conflict situations, from the potential to the nascent to the different phases, if you like, of the early phase of conflict dynamics. And that again is something we need to encourage, particularly African university and research folks, on getting the kind of indicators which are necessary. In Addis Ababa, most of the speakers said there is no need for early warning, because the whole of the continent is vulnerable for escalation. The fact that Abacha, sneezes or gets a bad cold may, for example, lead to something. The catalytic element is what is necessary. that's one view, which came from Addis Ababa. Shevardnadze told me, Kumar, there is no need for early warning in Russia and the former Soviet Union. The entire place is going to blow up. What you need is, for Yeltsin to get drunk one day. And, we know what happened, Chechnya. He took the decision, apparently, when he was very drunk. So, what you may therefore see is that there are many, we have to say that there are vulnerable societies. Societies in transition.
Yes.
Sorry?
Well, presidents have very odd drinking habits.
I know.
So I suggested that the link was Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yeah. No, most probably you're right. I mean, if, for example, Yeltsin, Chechnya was taken very much in the most stupidest possible way to destroy a complete town and all this.
Sufficient people were ready to help him with
But,
it.
he could do it in Dagestan, he could do it elsewhere. So that's what Shevardnadze said. You don't need early warning because the whole place can blow up. It depends on governance.
Ja, Joppe,